We are going to talk much about that, and we are going to have maybe 2 sessions for, because we will not rush it. We'll take time to see that we digest that particular topic, because it is really the sin of our time. There's a lot of deception out there. So when I come back, I'll give you a little highlight of what we have today as the liturgy tells us, and then before I enter into whatever you have. Thank you.
Thank you. Still the talking stick with you. We played on you to tune the song of the day.
We are going to sing hymn 76 for those who are out there who have the Cameroon hymnal. God hath here in hiding, whom I do adore, masked by these bare shadows, shape and nothing more. See, Lord, at thy service, low lies here our heart, lost, all lost in wonder at the God thou art. Seeing, touching, tasting, are indeed deceived. How says trusty hearing, that shall be believed. What God's Son hath told me, take for truth I do. Truth himself speaks truly, or there's nothing true. On the cross thy Godhead made no sign to men, yet thy very manhood steals from human kin. Both are my confession, both are my belief, and I pray the prayer of the dying thief.
Thank you very much, Mount Zion, for leading us through that song. And last but not the least, on today's edition, we have Mr. Feji Galus, a special Berakah. And welcome on today's edition, Mr. Feji.
A special Berakah to you and to all the panelists, and special Berakah to Madam Yenla. That name is Banso, is very difficult to pronounce. Yenla. A special Berakah to you, Madam.
Thank you.
For the wonderful, colorful dress that you are putting on. It's wonderful. And a special Berakah to all the televiewers and to those who care to send messages just to understand more about the topic. And a special Berakah to the Almighty God, Jesus Christ, who came and gave his life to save my life, that I could also find eternal life. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you very much, Mr. Galus. And the two of us still have an unsettled score. I'm sure we're going to settle maybe after this program. So, Mount Zion, coming to you with the liturgy of today.
Yes, so concerning the liturgy of today, before the recap, I'll start by saying a lie doesn't become truth, wrong doesn't become right, and evil doesn't become good just because it's accepted by a majority. At the heart of today's liturgy is the message of hope and restoration that God promised through the prophet Ezekiel. God is going to transfer his people from a place of oppression, poverty, and misery to a place of justice, prosperity, and peace of mind. The gospel passage buttresses the fact that only those with faith can realize this promise, and that no matter what happens in this life, we should strive to have faith and look only to where our Lord has gone to prepare a place. The seed primarily refers to the word of God that has been sown in our hearts. Without it, even the promise made to the prophet Ezekiel will have no meaning for us. We must allow this seed to grow only then can we reap the promises of God. Faith always wins, no matter how terrible or challenging the situations may be. If you can hold on to God, you will always win at the end. You'll be victorious.
Thank you. Just 1 minute for Berakah.
Yes, last week we were talking about poor worship attitudes, and we started by talking about late coming. We went further by talking about our disposition during Mass, the type of disposition we take. We talked about omission of remote preparation that gives us that poor worship attitude. We also talk about the gestures being respected during the Eucharistic celebration or even in services. We also talk about when we look at it, we realize that silence is supposed to be respected, another liturgical gesture. And then we also see poor maybe preparation of homilies, and that may not be prepared well. And we also looked at late coming of priests, and as we said, we talked about all this to make sure that you come early, both the priest and the faithful, the preacher and those who are waiting to get the message. Everybody comes on time, come with the right disposition, and when you come, the first thing we know that worship, it means we are returning the love that God has showered on us by creating us in his image and likeness. That is just what we go to church to do. We do worship and adoration to God Almighty for the love. And that is why when we go to church, we have to have the right disposition. When we have the disposition that we are going there to pray, that is the wrong disposition, and that takes us away from that. Therefore, before I give the mic back to you, somebody asked the question that last week we're talking about the various gestures, even though we did not go into it. But like Mr. Gallus highlighted towards the end of the program, he talked about the signing before the gospel. So the person watching the rebroadcast said, why is it that signing? What does it stand for? So I think that before I go into that, I'll plead with the panel that after this topic of deception, we are going to come into those signs, so that because that also, I think that from what he said, it helps the people for proper worship. Because if you just make the sign, you don't know what it stands for, it does not take you into that mystery, does not lead you into that disposition that you have to place yourself. So normally before the gospel, when the priest comes, and then he said the gospel according to Mark, or according to which of the gospel writers, the whole congregation will say, glory to you, O Lord. So that sign, and that is why he said, if you don't know, some people, the way they make their own, because they don't know what it stands for. So when you make at your forehead, you sign it, that is, let me understand the word that the preacher, that the priest is going to give. Let me be able to proclaim it outside. Let me be able to say it. And then it should stay in my heart. And when we talk about staying in your heart, it is not to remain in your heart just there. But when it remains in your heart, what happens? You have now that love. You are able now to put it into practice. So when you understand, you are able to say it. Then you are able to practice it through the heart. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mount Zion. Indeed, that topic is timely, and we really need it, because most of us don't know the doctrine of most of these signs. So, televiewers, without wasting any time, we're going to go into our topic of today, which is deception, the sin of our time. And I'm going to begin with Miss Yinla today. My spirit led me to begin with you. So, Miss Yinla, when we talk about this deception, from which angle are we looking at it from?
Okay, we are looking at deception at the angle of first our own selves as human beings, because none of us here is free from that.
Yes.
But then we are looking at it too at the angle of us sinning. For instance, Madam people say, I'll take lies telling, because that is one of the greatest sins of our time, lies telling, which has, turned our society in what it is today. And I must say, Madam Kelly, when we talk of lies telling, I will say it also has an audience. Why do I say so? it will be practically difficult for you to convince myself, Mr. Gallus, that maybe Madame Eposi Emilia is a gossip because we know her. You understand? That's the audience. But then there are some people who might be because of hate, let me put it that way, envy, that way. Immediately they hear something about Kelly. Oh, not true. And that is why there is a common saying that if somebody believes a lie that is being said about you, it's because the person must have hated you before. You understand? So to me, I think I want to look at it at the angle of lies telling, in which I said it has an audience. And like I have said, if somebody just hear that, oh, Kelly has stolen something, say, not true, Kelly the thief, it means the person already had something negative about you. And I'll also go to an extent to talk about false accusations. Yes, when you hear something about somebody, lies telling, it comes under deceit, sin, and then you just conclude that no, it is true. You don't even bother to ask. Like Father Siben said it today, what is killing us is that we draw conclusions where there is a missing idea. When you hear something being said about somebody, you don't even bother just because you have nursed that hatred in you about that person. You have nursed that envy, that jealousy. You have an audience who sit and talk about Kelly. So anything that is being said, whether be it true, even if you read well in front there, and then somebody says Kelly read so well, in as much as that person is part of that audience, to the person, you didn't read well because of that hate, that that envy that they have because of you, and it leads to a lot of lies telling, and it's killing our society today. So to me, I would like us to look at deception at the level of lies telling.
Okay, so Madam Yela, I would just like to just add to what you have said. I had a little experience yesterday. I attended a program, and the person sitting right next to me, I've never met her before, but the way we flowed and vibe, I was like, until I had to take her number. We chatted until we reached at a point when we got to this topic without me even knowing that we are getting into it. And she was like, where she is from, most people don't grow, or they don't like vibe with each other because of lies telling, a lot of gossip in Mount Zion, and sheeps in lions' clothing. I don't even know how to say it, in wolves' clothing. Like, you tend to trust somebody, you love the person, and you think that person loves you back, but at the end of the day, it's that person that's killing you behind. So she said for that reason, she does not even want to have anything to do with people from that side of her family. You understand what I'm trying to? I don't know. So it also ties to what you're saying when it comes to lies telling.
Yes, I get you why, because myself, I've been a victim of that. And like the decisions she took, myself too, I think I discussed it with her, where I had to block some people from my phone. At times we see it as, no, it is not good, but Kelly, for the sake of your mental health, you need to push away these people from you, because there is nothing you ever do to convince these people that, oh, I did not say this, or I was not, I don't know anything. They already have it, because first they have an audience. That's why I said it will be practically impossible for you, I am Mr. Gallus, to call and say Posi a thief because we know her. But then, mind you, when we must have sat and then we like, build that hatred, envy for her, because maybe she has something that we do not have. You will never tell. That's just the human nature. She might be there and there is something in her that we see, and it is making us to be jealous and all whatnot. But then, just the fact that we have that negative mentality about her, there is nothing you ever say about Auntie Posi that will accept. So to me, like the lady said, that's the audience, the family, right? You can never convince her to go back to the family, because there is already an audience there that sees her as that particular person. So that is it.
So Mount Zion, the talking stick is with you.
Yes, I just want to come into what Gillian has said. Like she made mention that, like Father mentioned during their mass, that we draw conclusions where there is a missing idea. So there we see deception coming as a result of omission. So at times, some people do it purposefully. They want to like omit certain things to deceive other people. That's also part of lies telling. Yes, because you are not saying what really happened. You know that if you say it the way it happened, so many people will not come. They will not like come to your own mindset. So then now you prefer now to cut the areas. So that is why that's
Keep going back to pleasing people.
yes, that's what we say. Like Reverend Father Josh will always say, half truths are worse than lies. Because if, for instance, just the fact that the people know that you were there, then somebody comes and is relating something, just the seeing you there, it makes them to know that yes, you did what they are saying. But if you were not there, then they just come, they say Kelly came here, everybody will say but she was not there. So you realize that it will be difficult to deceive the people. But because you were there, just like as Father Siben said, so those type of omissions that are being drawn with conclusion, you see that it will never have the right conclusion. And then also Gillian, when she was saying, she said you have an audience. So when we talk about having an audience, you realize that today, like what we have in so many churches, I'll put it that way,
yes.
I'll call a spade a spade,
yes.
in so many churches, the people who go there because the preachers say what they want to hear. Yes, so those audience, they already have what they are expecting. Yeah. So just like Jesus, when we go to John chapter 6, that so many of the people, they left him because what he was preaching, it was not part of what they were expecting. They wanted to see a Messiah who would come and then free them. So when he was saying they were looking, who is this that we are expecting something? We expect that when he will come, he's going to win all these wars and do so many things. Then he's coming telling us, anybody who eat my flesh, drink my blood. What are we to do? Are we carnivores or whatever? So how can we be eating? So they did not even want to listen to what he was saying, because that is not what they wanted to hear. They already had what they were expecting from him. And so just like as she is mentioning there, most often when you see that you displease people who are not your audience, yeah. Because immediately you start saying what they are expecting something, but you are saying something else, you see they will realize that that is not a good place for them. So they want to go where they know that everybody there is doing what they are doing. Yeah. Yes, so that is where we have that pleasing people syndrome. So you have those people, they are always together, like the English proverb say, birds of they flock together. Yeah. So when you see them, yes, that's why I've told
the audience.
Yes, I've told I told like I told some of my children, I always tell them that bad association corrupt good manners. Mm-hmm. So if your leg is not grounded, don't go and say, no, I want to change this person. Instead, they are going to change you. So don't deceive yourself. So at times also, just as she's talking about lies telling, most often, Martha, we lie to ourselves. Yeah. We know the truth, but we deceive ourselves with lies. You know that I am not this person, but you are lying to yourself and trying to fit yourself into other people's positions. But whereas you know that detailedly within you, deep down within you, you see that you are not whom you are projecting. So that is all deception, and we see today it is gaining a lot of ground, and we see that is why you see so many evil is out there, because people deceive themselves to be who they are not. So that is lies telling. You don't want to accept who you are. If you are coming from a poor background, you have to accept the fact that I'm coming from a poor background. You don't have to go now because you want to please people. You want to measure yourself with other people. Nice. Then you start looking for, maybe you even go, you are borrowing, you are doing this just because you want to be at the same level with some people. Why should you be deceiving yourself? Then during the night you are so stressed up, whereas other people are sleeping. You are there frustrated because you are deceiving yourself that you can be able to match up with them. But they don't suffer anything because that is their standard. You are not up to that standard, and you want to put yourself to that standard. So that is you are lying to yourself, you are deceiving yourself.
Marco, please let me just add something. I must say, Madam Mount Zion, that most of the time this lies telling, because when you talked of your friend, I'm still coming back to her because she quoted family. It is a very serious thing for somebody to say, I will cut off from my family because of this. Most of the time, those things come from the people we love. Yes. That's why you see somebody will take that decision of blocking. Imagine, I can have that special love for your mother. Let me use your mother, Mrs. Tenu. She knows I love her so much, she knows. And then she hears something about me, or that I went and said something about her, and she did not come to ask if it is true. Why? She already has her audience. That is not the problem. But then, looking at the love I share with her, imagine she takes it the other way around and then she goes about scandalizing my name. Do you know why I will feel so bad to the extent of even blocking her? It's because of that love. That's the first thing. You take certain actions because you were soaked and so deep in love with these family members that you didn't expect such from them. So to an extent, rather than you, because most of the times you get hurt, like we feel so bad, like I said, from the people who we really love. So at the end of the day, rather than you sitting and tell person and you keep on feeling, oh, Auntie Posi do me so it really want me, it's still the love. Yes. You will sit and say, hi, but I be like Auntie Posi, oh, see the Auntie Posi, me I will be the share this. That's the love. Mm-hmm. You start thinking of how you people were sharing your life, the things you share together, some of your privacy that you shared with this person, and then in the twinkle of an eye, the person just like boom, believes every lie that is being said. The next thing you will do is to block the person, like the girl did to me. It's a very good thing for her sanity, for the sake of her mental health, and for the sake of her peace. And looking at her, I think she's a very young person. She has a life ahead of her. Yes. Those people should stay behind her. Like Jesus said, get behind me, Satan, to Peter. They should go behind her, let her move on with her life. Out of those people, life continues. And like they always say, family is not only by blood. So she should move on with her life.
Thank you very much, Mr. Feji Galus. I really miss your voice.
Thank you. Yemla was saying, cut off from the family. I refuse. You cannot cut off from your family. Good thing, she landed very well. Satan,
get behind me.
That's good word. You cannot cut off your family. Not even Jesus sent Judas away. Can you live with a Judas?
Sure.
Can you live with a Judas?
Of course.
Then you are a correct Christian now. Do you know the story of the wheat and the wheat? Therefore, you must put this thing together. Christianity is not a chocolate. When we come here to talk like that, you don't know when you go back home. If you have been feeling it, you will tell me something. It's not easy. When I was preparing this program, everything I've written down and typed got missing in the computer. I went to print, they could not see it. I started all over thinking what I have to say. The devil's strategy is tough. And that's why the director of the Berakah ministry Cameroon talked about deception. And that is the highest strategy of the devil. Thank God, around 2011, I can remember again and again, even though all my laptop and my backup are all gone away, by those people they call devil. People who, the unseen serpent.
Unseen serpent.
Those are the people. They are not bad people altogether. They are not bad though. We need them in our lives. That Father Nkezet wrote a book.
If you don't have a Judas,
you have a Judas. Look for one.
Look for one, because he
wrote
or she
that
helps
book,
you.
Hard times from my spiritual diary. It's going to shape you, and that's why the devil's strategy. Everybody must know. There's one great man of the church who talked about Saint Augustine of Hippo. When I went to church, yes. Saint Augustine of Hippo talked about seduction. That is in the Hebrew language, allurement, and he talked about admiration. That was killing us, Yemla. What is killing us is this admiration, consent. Madam Director Ekosi Mazan or Shekebo tell about people pleasing syndrome. You consent, you connive. What you know in your inner of mind that this one is evil, and you convince yourself outwardly thinking that is good, which is not good, because all the world that you are seeing outside of us is because inside of us we are not at peace. Yes. If there is war outside, yes, it's because inside the human being there is no peace. Yeah. And that's what the problem comes in. And then the devil is so crafty, so cunning, so intelligent. If you tell the devil is not intelligent, the devil is so intelligent. He will come and tell her, hey, read Genesis chapter 3, verse 1 to 6. They say you should not eat this thing, And that's why I want to thank the doctors of the Holy Mother Church in the Kleska province, or they call it one Bamenda, that they deem necessary to speak this language in pidgin, because the language passes in pidgin. So that Genesis chapter 3 verse 1 to 6, they asked me not chop this thing. Very candy and very sweet talk, because it comes. Did they ask you not to eat from this fruit? Say no, you can eat of it. Because when you eat of it, this is what you become. And every human being, me included, likes what looks glittering. And you people are always saying that people know English, say all what glitter is not gold. And then the devil knows the particular way to catch us. Bring that thing like glitter. He say, wait, take a look. First thing is to take a look. That's the first step. Take a look. You take a look to what? And the greatest mystery of our time today was the internet. Take a look. When you go to the internet, you scroll, you will see everything, and you remember there is pornography. He's taking a look. And when you take a look now, he gets deep into. Now you begin to concord. When you take a look now, you go deep. He looks at you. I take another one, and then get you. And they get you in his own dinner and finish with you. They call it, Jeremiah called it battlefield. And then Frank have thought about that one. Do you know your battlefield? Where is your battlefield? The mind. And when the mind is captured, you are finished. So that deception starts with that. And the devil knows. I don't want to give you the statistics. The statistics are here. The solicitation. Take a look. When you take a look, you fall. And when you fall, pleasure comes. Consent, you act, necessity, and death, spiritual death. And when you are spiritually dead, that's why when we are talking here every day, Madam Moderator, we are talking not of physical things, we are talking of things. Where are we going to spend eternity? Those people who used to ask me in those days in Kumba, in the years of 1980s up to 1990, where will you spend eternity? We come with small pamphlets. They were doing good work, but they were doing good work, but some of them today are become mice. Because when the mice is talking on the microphone, you think that they are making a lot of noise.
Mr. Gallus, I want to come back to you, please. There are certain topics that we want to discuss, right? I want to buy Madame Eposi, I want to plead that we should be realistic. We should be realistic.
Yes, go ahead.
I'll come back to you. Still talk about deception, the greatest sin of our time, lies telling. They always say you cannot ride a willing horse to something. I don't know how to put it.
To death.
Mr. Gallus, I want to believe that you've experienced life more than.
Yeah. No, I'm not experiencing life more than you. I've lived longer than you on earth.
And to be honest, there are certain situations in life that you've given up on people.
No. That's why I give up when I did not know. Understand?
Really?
Yes.
And
I get what.
Regretted.
Yes, I regretted when I did not know. But today.
I was coming for.
Yes.
I was coming.
No, let me tell you.
Yes.
When today, I don't give up, but I put you at a cold place. You are not gone. You are there. Understand? When you come back, Father Nkata told me all this thing. You are still there. I thought that you are finished. I'm go ahead, begin to follow me. You are saying in a subtle way, Satan get behind me.
Yeah.
Because you know Judas was not sent away. But the way what you are doing will take you to your hole. You will enter your hole yourself.
I am happy for this.
Because it's a choice. Understand? Yes. It's what we do that reflect who we are. Our character is our destiny.
Madam Marco, I am happy for what he has just said. Okay. I have kept you in the cold. Which means you must have done something and then he cannot take it anymore, but then he's keeping you somewhere for you to realize that you must have done something.
I was not wrong. I understand you.
My problem was that
you are in my memory, but you are not disturbing me.
Yes,
you are where I want to go.
The issue was I thought maybe like you've never had that situation where
no, I don't. I've got none of it.
Send the person behind you.
No, I've got none of it.
Okay.
The problem, the guy is in my memory. I'm not an animal that have a memory. It is dead, but it cannot disturb me again. When I want to focus, I will focus, and that's why take a look is one of the worst thing on earth to do. If you take a look at this contract, boy, look at this contract. You have your place or your friend. Like now, when you are really down, Madam Posi, when you are down financially, because all of us people need money. Yes. You have to say, but some contract don't come. You take a look and open the page. In that page at the end of the contract, they say, you want to sign this contract is about 500 million. You know, you have to give this thing. That's why I say, but you say, I can give one of my daughter, and I take the 500 million. Why not? There are many people are doing that. But if you have the will, you have the spirit, you have the Holy Spirit in you, the Holy Spirit of Jesus Christ, you prefer to die than to take a look on what will not help humanity. Madam Dela, I end by that. I raise my case that way. Every time you take a decision, and your mind of mine, I used to say my person here, is not synchronized with the what you are signing. Your mind, there's a mind in us that is God's mind that is not synchronizing. It makes you shake. No, that don't take a decision. If you take a decision that will not help the community, don't take a decision. Because I might telling you that what you are doing is wrong. This phone that you are collecting is not your phone. It's not your phone. You know that you are stealing.
Yeah.
And then you are deceiving yourself that you are not stealing. Otherwise, you are not stealing. But when you go to sleep, you know that you have stolen. You stole. You have stolen. And it cannot just work like that. That's why I said that deception is a very bad thing. Take a look is the first step. Take a look. And when you look, you can go in.
You say it's like you have something to say.
No. Yeah, I said it all. I will still come
So,
back.
Mount Zion, before we take the text of the day, what are the root causes of deception?
Yes, you see, like when people deceive others, for instance, one of it is to get something they want. So they want to have something from what, like they deceive other people because they want to get something. Maybe you want to get power, you want to get wealth, you want to friendship, pleasing people. So you know that, okay, as she has made mention, very good way, these are my audience. If immediately I go into this, they will follow me. And then also to protect or promote themselves. So when you want to protect yourself, you want to promote yourself, as I've said at the beginning, that you want to go to a certain level that you are not in that level. So you turn out to deceive other people around to think that you are who you are portraying, but of which it is not. Then the third one is to harm others. Yes, so to harm others. So when you have these are the root causes. So when you have these things within you, as she made mention, that you see somebody, the person, you are just jealous of the person, so you realize that you cannot compare with that person. So what happens? You want to harm the person. So but you know that if you have to go with truth, there will be no way. So you prefer now to take some deception. You take lies, you exaggerate things, you mislead other people, and then you paint that person now black. Everybody starts seeing the person who the person is not, but everybody start like this is how this person was. This, so they will not understand that all that. And we see it every day in our society, every day, even in our families. We see it every day in our various groups of the church and wherever. We see this every day. So it is not like something that we are taking from somewhere and then bringing it here. No, it happens every day, even in small families. That is why you have to be very careful when bringing up children. You have to look at those who want to, like, pleasing people syndrome. They like to tell lies. Maybe you come, you say, what happened when I was not? So because this person want to make as if he or she is the best, you start lying now to the other people. When you were not like this person was. So you have to kill that particular unseen serpent that want to germinate on especially children. You have to know that this child is deceptive. This child want to have that deceptive mindset, and then you react. So those are the things that really cause people to go into deception. And then, as I've said, because when you come under that, you see pride is one of them also. Because when I talked about promoting yourself, that's pride. You want to go higher than who you are. So all that leads to.
Yes, I just want to add a little bit of flesh when she mentioned protection. At times, people deceive others or lie about others because they want to protect their image. And what they are trying to protect inside, please, is actually what they are doing. Yes, that is bad.
Yes.
But then, they try to come first to tarnish your own image for you not to see what is inside in them that they are trying to protect. So it's another form too of being deceptive. You know that you are doing something, and then you already know that, okay, if they know that, okay, this is what Kelly is doing, they'll be like, oh, you rush now, and then you try to, at times they even blame you, or they try to hang some of their attitudes or their deeds on you. Like you see somebody doing something and you say, no, I'm not the one, it's Gillian that has been doing it, and you try to convince people. But then Auntie Apostle, like I'll always say, I don't know the God people are serving. My own God that I am serving, I'll proudly say that God will never let that go. If somebody accuses you falsely, or the person brings up a story against which is all lies, if you are serving the true God, a day will come when those things will come to light. So most of the time people do that to protect some of their bad attitude, the bad things that they go out there doing. Then they will not come and then they spoil your name to make it look as if you're a very bad person, because they don't want their audience, I'll still go back to the audience, to see that this
Focus
is the,
on them.
yes, this
so
is
they
the person
remove their focus off themselves
like,
and place it
and
on
you see them sitting with their audience, the snake is there among them,
Yes.
and then you are the victim.
Yes.
And you know for yourself that the snake is there, but then you cannot penetrate that audience. The person has already captured their minds. There is nothing you can do to penetrate the audience. So the snake will be there trying to deceive you, whom he or she has convinced to be a very good audience. Why they spoil your name out there, saying a lot of things about you.
Thank you. So you want to?
Yes. We should be very, very careful. You should suffer. A Christian must suffer for the right cause. That's why Jesus Christ asked us to carry our cross and follow him. If you cannot carry a cross, you cannot carry a cross, cannot follow Jesus. I want to say that it's not easy, Christianity.
Yeah.
Nobody should deceive you. You say that your God will never let that go unpunished. That's what I say now. God does not punish. That's my opinion. God does not punish, because God has placed in front of the human being blessing.
Okay.
Yes. You make a choice. God has not made us to be remote control. There's a story I think I was discussing with my wife when we were going back that time. The prodigal son. What is that story that I can tell you on it? What happened? That particular son maybe have disturbed the father for so long. Give my own. Every day give my own. And one day the father said that take
it.
Because it might be seen that the father said you are not yet, it's not yet time. Start from a humble beginning, like Father Marcel said today. Start from a humble beginning. You will enjoy now.
Yeah.
Some people do not want to start from a humble beginning, and that's one of the causes. The one makes that it don't happen. The now syndrome. So number two, they don't know the will of God for themselves. When you take this manual we call the Bible, is your manual for life. Is what operate your own life till you go to eternity. So if you are not grounded with the scriptures, you understand, that's why you will behave. And another person, one of the greatest point, one of the greatest things that's killing people, pride.
Yeah.
There's nothing that does not cause problem, which is pride. Because pride will make you never to apologize.
Yeah.
Apologize for you say waiting.
And that's true.
I get money,
Yeah.
I get house,
Yeah.
I get everything. I want to apologize for who? Who be it?
Na pikin.
Come on, me there, na pikin. Meanwhile, you are supposed to be humble. Anything that does not start from humility, can't forget about it. So pride brings a lot of conflict. All the conflict I see in the world is because of pride.
That's true.
Why should I sit down and talk with him? Who is he? Even in the church, even in the domestic church, even in the bigger church, even among the priests, there's a lot of ego. And when you read the book of James, the scriptures, you will see it. I want to tell you that my name was St. Paul, somebody who had stupid overzealousness, over heavy pride. When the spirit comes to you and you accept it, you will then start serving by God. And when you serve God in truth and what again? Time to worship God in truth and spirit.
In spirit and in truth.
Spirit and in truth. You see that you are no more these things of the world, these worldly things. You are not concerned. They give you or don't give you.
You are not of the world.
You are not fed by the word of God, and you are happy because all these things you see in our quarters. Number land this. I know many mothers in my quarter there that are crying because they don't have husband. The people who are too strong take their land. You sell land to 10 people and say that you are a big man. You ride in a human jeep in town and knock people down
deception.
and go. You knock somebody down and go without camera to say, please, I'm sorry, I knocked you down. You don't end to die. The only thing is that what you are planting, you will harvest.
It.
So it's like that. So it is pride. Over pride is bringing us a lot of problems, and pride will result to gossiping, telling this man, and the young man said at the beginning, will bring us a lot of problems. Pride is a problem of our time. Pride is also to be judgmental. You will say the man who, that was I said at the beginning. I will not elaborate on that point because pride is a whole. The Bible is talking about pride. God said that bring the. You see, one of the things that people are deceiving people. Don't actually say we need we can't baptize small people now. Yes. Why not another one? Why not want to baptize small children? Why the book of when Paul went to baptize people, there the scriptures are there. The whole house was baptized. When they say the whole house, what does it mean? Everywhere is all the whole. I don't know how to be quoting scriptures here today. They will the doctor will say, okay, let's discuss something. We'll talk about it. We are supposed to baptize everybody because it makes you a part of the family of God. It doesn't mean you don't have sin again. No, it means that when you have sin, you go and confess, and now you are how do Father say, take away those sins from you. Understand? But you must first be baptized to be part of the family. They call you the Marco Darani. No. Teno. So that you are baptized in Teno name. That's the name that are part of the Teno family. You understand? So we are baptized in the Holy Mother Church. They will carry the Christian out. That simple that should not be baptized. Go and take your baptism. No matter which age you are, take your baptism. That's not deception. Because the day will come, you will spend too much. You will go to heaven, but you will not see God. Those who are not baptized, be careful. You will be in heaven, but you cannot be with God. You will not be in the banquet. They will put you aside in some corner. I know what you are talking.
Thank you very much, Mizela. I want you to take our test of today.
It's like there a point that I have ended that will come back to that point. How you say that you will not be baptized, you go to heaven, but you will not see God? How?
You know now. I can tell you
Matthew.
Take verse 24 to 24 to.
Is it 36 or 20?
Matthew 13.
Let us first use the 24. You end here.
Matthew 13, 24.
24. To take the parable first, then you come now to the explanation.
Okay.
So I should take just the 24, then take
the whole of this end here, where this parable of the mustard seed begin. You end here. Then you come and take now the explanation.
Okay. Matthew 13 verse 24. He proposed another parable to them. The kingdom of heaven may be likened to a man who sowed good seed in his field. While everyone was asleep, his enemy came and sowed wheat all through the wheat and then went off. When the crop grew and bore fruit, the wheat appeared as well. The slaves of the householder came to him and said, Master, did you not sow good seed in your field? Together until harvest. Then at harvest time, I will say to the harvesters, first collect the wheat and tie them in bundles for burning, but gather the wheat into my barn. He proposed another parable to them. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed that a person took and sowed in a field. It is the smallest of all seed, yet when full grown, it is the largest of plants. It becomes a large bush, and the birds of the sky come and dwell in its branches. The explanation of the parable of the wheat. Verse 36. Then dismissing the crowd, he went into the house. His disciples approached him and said, Explain to us the parable of the wheat in the field. He said in reply, He who sows good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed, the children of the kingdom. The weeds are the children of the evil one. And the enemy who sows them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the age, and the harvesters are angels. Just as weeds are collected and burnt up with fire, so with it be at the end of the age. The Son of Man will send his angels, and they will collect out of his kingdom all who cause others to sin and all evildoers. They will throw into the fiery furnace, where there will be a wailing and grinding of teeth. Then the righteous will shine like the sun in the kingdom of the Father. Who has ears ought to hear. Should I continue? Okay.
word of the Lord.
The word of the Lord. That's
Glory to God. Mr. Galu will say that the gospel of the Lord. That is gospel.
That's the gospel of the Lord.
Praise you, Lord Jesus Christ.
You
Mr.
must praise
Galu.
Jesus Christ.
this is the reading of today, right?
Yes. This mustard
So,
seed.
Mount Zion.
So when we look at the parable, we see the parable of the weeds among the wheat. When we see the wheat among the wheat, they are all almost the same. They are almost the same. I'll give you a small story. When I was small, I went to the farm. At that time, I did not know corn and then elephant grass. So my mother said, be weeding here. I remove all the corn because they resemble elephant grass. So I was just removing everything. So when she came now, she said that who said that you should uproot the maize now? I said I did not know that they were. So she took her time now to explain to me now that this one is the maize and this is the elephant grass. So I had to look at it critically before I could now. So that, but if you see, if it was at the end, you realize that you come now, you see the maize has already given the fruit. So there you'll be able to harvest it. But you see now the elephant grass, it will not give any fruit. So that is just to tell you why Jesus said, leave the two, let them grow together. Because if you want to, as he said, if you want to start removing the weed, you may mistakenly remove the wheat also. So that is why when we look at this parable, it tells us clearly that is what is happening today in the world. We see counterfeits of everything. Yeah. Even love is counterfeited. So that is why they will tell you, the same gospel tells us that by their fruits we shall know them. It did not say that by the fruit tree. It says by their fruits. Which means that if you come, you cannot be able to differentiate pear from mango tree. Just allow it. When they will give their fruit, when you come, you know that okay, this is mango and this is pear. So that is just to tell us that at times when we see there are so many counterfeited things like this wheat and the wheat. You go to houses today, you see the love that people show. It is not the real love, the agape love that is coming from the Father. You see the generosity that people claim is not the real. So, but at the end, as Mr. Gallus will put it, he says that at times when you do all that, you are feeding a monster, and you only want to know by the time that monster is going to stand up to face you. So when you come now here, you are trying to pamper the child, you are doing this, and all in the name of love. At the end, when that child grows up, like we have heard so many stories where children, they come and then they hold their parents. Yes, give me this. The father said that no, I cannot. Maybe at that time now you cannot really provide the way you were providing when the child was small. The child holds you now. Some even they kill their parents because they have refused to, maybe they cannot offer what they have demanded. All that is. So then now we say now that by their fruits we shall know them. So there you see that the love that you were showering on the child when the child was small, that was not the right love. Mm-hmm. So there you just had a counterfeit of the love, because there is no, the Bible tells us that no father will love a child and they will not punish that child. Yeah. No father will love a child and will not direct that child in the right way. But today we see that people think that when you correct a child, you shout at a child for a wrongdoing, that's hating the child. And so the children to take it within them, and then they turn out to project that. Immediately you want to correct a child, the child gets angry with you, and then the child does not come close to you. According to the child, you hate him or her. But that is not what it is there. So instead, when you look at it, the person who is trying to correct, to direct, that's the person that instead loves that child more, because at the end you use that values and virtues now for your own growth, and you see now that it is going to help you for your journey. But today we don't see all that, and how many of us will even focus on the journey, the pilgrim journey? So many of us, we don't even care. You see people, they just live their lives as if there is no afterlife. Yes, so that is nobody cares, but that is why Jesus is bringing us to that, telling us clear that at the end there will be that separation. So to tell us that we must be able to focus and see where we are going, and we should be able to remain those wheats, because the wheat are there, and the wheat, just like the parable of the sower that we talk about, the seed struggle to grow, and the thorns, they were choking it up. So that is what is happening. You see, you are struggling, but you see so many setbacks, so many things, so many people are saying so many things about you, and then at times you see it is not, you cannot even go anywhere from where you are, and then you start asking yourself, is this the right path? So should I follow the crowd? And there you see yourself, you are stuck somewhere. You see everybody is coming and everybody is doing something, the wrong practice, and they free themselves. Maybe you go to an office, you see everybody comes, enter, they give what is demanded of them. You now that come and stand there, you see nobody is even looking at you, and then you look at it. This, as Father Siben always say, that if your way is very easy, it means that you are one of them. Yes, it means that you are going their path.
Yeah.
Because today, yes, if everything goes your way, then it means that you are one of them, because you must have those stumbling blocks. You must have.
I think that's a very deep phrase.
Yes, you must. So you should be looking at it. If you see that, as Mr. Gallus has said, the path to Christianity is not easy. So if you realize that everything is just going smooth to you, it's something that you need to stand, and then you ask yourself, what is happening? Am I really living this life, or I need to have some? I need to go back, as he will put it, to the drawing board, and to see where I am making errors, and then I correct it. Because today you cannot just have everything is going smooth and things like that. It's just like, I give you an example. My brother was traveling, so he came to the house very late, and then I asked him, why did you take a lot of time? He said, I took up to 3 cars just leaving Douala and coming to Moliko. I said, what happened? He said that the first car, they reached one place, they said that all Boya people, they should go down because they have seen Limbe. So Limbe, they could feel the bus, so the person decided to take the Limbe passengers. So all the Boya now, they stood there. After some time, they got another car. The car came now. That one now was another kind. So when the man came, so he was complaining that, can I imagine that the man went and then they stopped him on the way. He said that he has all his books, he's not going to give any money, and then they said that no, he should give money. He too, he stood there. They stood there for about 30 minutes. He said that, so the passengers, they started complaining that what is all this nonsense, he should give them money and let them go, and things like that. He does not know that that's the system. So so he said that he too, he started saying it, and so when he finished, I told him that, but do you know that that's the wrong practice? He has all his documents, and then he said that until they started, the passengers now were stepping down from the car, that they are going to look for another car and things like that. So I'm just coming to say that the pressure, you that you want to stand tall for the truth, and you want to stand that I will not go this way that the majority are going. You see now that pressure and everything. So he too now will look at it. If all the passengers now have to leave his car, of which those passengers were, so if they are Christians, they are supposed to be in support of him, but now we instead will leave the car and say that no, I'm hearing, I have to take another car that is fast and things like that. So at the end of the day, we want to see the changes. We want to see that we want to go that journey. We want to see eternity. Is that how we are going to see the eternity? That's why Jesus said that they are in the world, but they are not of the world. So are we of the world? So when you do those things, then it means that you are of the world. But when you are in the world and not of the world, which means that you don't go the way that the world goes because you want to please people, or because you want to be part of the team. So you do what you know that it is right. As I started, even if the truth is not done by anybody, it does not counsel the fact that that is not the truth. The truth remains the truth, and God is not going to change the truth from truth to lies because the humanity have decided that truth does not want to be truth again. So we realize that there is a lot of lies telling these days, and lies can never turn into truth. So the only thing is for us to go back to truth, and we like Christians, we have to be ambassadors of the truth. But if you look at it, even in the church, they tell you, they tell lies and they look at you in the face, and you ask yourself, what is happening? What is happening to humanity? So those are the things. So there's a lot of deception. So just like Jesus is saying, the wheat and the wheat, because the wheat, they resemble the wheat. So that is the point that he was making to the disciples, because by the time they want to remove the wheat, obviously they'll remove some of the wheat. So he wanted, because at the end the wheat is going to give the fruit, so they are going to harvest the fruit. So but the wheat is not going to produce any fruit, and that is where now they are going to remove it. So the children of God, they are going to produce their fruits, and you see it, the fruits of the Spirit. The love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness. So all that is the fruit of the Spirit. So if you realize any Christian who does not have that patience, who does not have that kindness, who does not have that love, who does not have that faithfulness, who is not trustworthy, then you know that that Christian is a weed and not a wheat.
Thank you very much, Mount Zion. Please, we'll just heavily give our last words of today. That each person has 5 seconds. Please, Mr. Feji Galus. 5 seconds.
We'll continue next week.
We are going to continue the topic next week.
You cannot say 5 seconds.
5 seconds, Mr. Galus.
Mr. Galus, that's why we say we are continuing next week.
We'll have part 2 next week.
The issue is that I don't see that people should be stand tall. You say 5 seconds and end with this problem. Any monkey where a year boom, a one go see him, take a look, you will take unseen bullet. That was one say stray bullet.
Stray bullet.
Any monkey where you hear noise, he say may go look at him, take a look, you will take stray bullet. So don't take a look at everything you hear or you want to see or you want to taste. Don't taste anything.
Thank you, Mr. Galus. Miss Yela.
Okay, I would like to say, if we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. And if we are led into deception, it is because of our carnal nature as human beings. So, like Father Siben quoted, or he said today, that let go and let God. Let go of some of those sinful attitudes or some of those deceptive attitudes that you have for at your own way. But if there are some things that you think you can't let go, then bring God into it so that God will help you in the course of praying to let go of all these things. Thank you, Kelly.
Yes, so I go by saying that if the sin of disobedience came as a result of deception, and so that is why we say, and so any man where he get any man and so any man he go get he pay for all the good and bad thing wey he be make for this ground. And I'll end by singing the stanza of that verse 2. Seeing, touching, tasting are indeed deceived. Houses trusty hearing that shall be believed. What God's Son had told me, take for truth I do. Truth himself speaks truly, or there's nothing true.
Thank you very much, Mr. Galus, Miss Yela, and Madame Posi. It's always a pleasure to host you here on the show. Your humble beginnings are not something to be ashamed of. Embrace them, as they will serve as a reminder of how far you have come. Let your humble beginnings inspire you to take yet another one more step. Televiewers, avoid the easiest thing, which is deceit. It is on this note that I draw the curtains on today's edition. Margaret Kelly Mafoten is my name, and I've been your host. Remember,
Berakah.